up? It's your boy Stephen McCoy, and you are listening and watching Sessions with Stephen. And today we have a very special guest. She's here to promote her film, The In Between. Film director, actress, writer, producer. I'm not sure how many things we can add into there, but she does it all. Mindy Bledsoe. How are
Thank
you?
you. Nice to meet you, Stephen. Thanks
Oh,
for
nice
having
to
me.
meet you too. You look beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah,
Now,
post-COVID time, we're always looking for an excuse to put makeup on now.
I love it. You have to talk to us about this film. It is amazing. It's a deep, deep
Well,
story.
thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Um,
Yeah.
so it's about two best friends who go on a road trip, a cross-country road trip, while dealing with some invisible illnesses and their own emotional baggage that goes along with that. Um, Yeah, and part of it was very important to have our characters be very stripped down and very natural to everyday life. So we've all been on a road trip or two, and we all know it ain't glamorous. So that was important
Right.
that we kept the naturality of it all. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, if you could speak to us about your character, and I thought, wow, like there's this so much awareness for mental health and diabetes and things of that nature, and your character dealt with chronic pain,
Hmm.
and the only thing that she did to stop the pain was to she took medication. She drank alcohol, and it was just like, wow. Sometimes we do not see the diseases or things that y'all spoke about that in the film, which I thought
Yeah.
that was so deep.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much. Yeah, it was very important. Representation for chronic illnesses is really important. So Jennifer Stone's character has type 1 diabetes in the film, and Jennifer has type 1 in real life as well. Yeah.
yeah,
And my character, Junior, has a chronic disease called complex regional pain syndrome, type 2. And I, as well, in real life, have that. So when Jen and
I
you
didn't
didn't know?
know that.
Yeah.
No,
So
I
when
did
Jen
not
and I set out to write this script, we wanted representation of these what we call invisible illnesses. It's these,
know. Yeah,
these chronic illnesses that people carry around with them every day, and you don't necessarily see them. So
yeah,
we all have that kind of baggage. So I mean, it's a
yeah.
beautiful thing to start with, and we wanted very much to make a movie that included characters that had these chronic illnesses, but not make it
Right.
about the chronic illnesses, because we have stories to tell that aren't just about being sick or getting well. So,
Mm. Wow, because I'm actually legally blind, so
wow.
you wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to, you wouldn't be able to tell that, but or
Yeah.
even that I have Usher syndrome, which is middle hearing loss. So I can definitely relate in the sense of people just not knowing, and
Yeah.
your story gone visible. So that's where
Steven,
it
I love that. I
definitely.
mean, congratulations for kicking ass. But I love it. I love that this movie can connect to anybody that has some kind of invisible illness. And I mean, I think if we meet any person, we all have a thing. So
Yeah.
it's really easy for someone to relate to. And if they don't have a thing, their partner, their best friend, they have a thing. So there's
Yeah.
always a good, easy way to relate to the characters in this movie.
Yes, absolutely. And I think one thing about your character in the film, um, that was so, it was a shocking moment when it was Jennifer's character that said, I think you use me as a clutch. And sometimes people who may have a disability do not realize that they're holding on to someone because of the fear of them not being able to do it. I felt that very much so. I felt that on such a deep level because there was a time where, if I'm being honest, where I felt maybe I wouldn't be able to do many things. For you, going through that personally, um, were you ever using someone in your personal life as a crutch and didn't know it, or?
Oh, sure. Stephen, what a great observation. Very few people have had that observation, and it is so very true. People with disabilities do tend to have a crutch on the people around them because there's that safety net.
Mhm.
So great observation. Thank you for that. In my personal life, as someone with disability, absolutely. You know, my partner who helped me make this movie, Rob Sinska, he's been a crutch for me. Even filming with Jen, she's a crutch for me because I don't have to communicate everything she just kind of knows, and that can be a crutch. Same with Rob. So the people I made this film with, actually, I would kind of say they're all crutches for me because they know who I am and they know how I work and they know what kind of pain that I deal with. And I use that as a crutch for just not having to work too hard at communicating because they already know. Um,
Yeah.
and also that safety net of like, do I need to strike out any further because it's working out okay here? I mean, I get
Yeah.
that, Stephen. What a,
Yeah.
and you see that between the two characters, between Mads and Junior, so much.
So, yes, absolutely. Did you ever get to a place where you, like, how did you get to letting people know that there was an issue? Did you ever feel like you had to hide your
Oh,
pain?
yes, Stephen. I've had CRPS for 18 years now, and I didn't meet someone uh, in person who had CRPS until 2017.
Mm,
So I got it in 2004, and I didn't meet someone until 2017. I graduated college, and most of my friends didn't know I was dealing with this. Um,
yeah.
I very much hid my illness out of fear, a lot of fear. I was a female. I was a film student. You know, having a weakness was scary, and
Uh,
putting that out was scary. I look back now and go, I shouldn't have done that. I should have always advocated for myself and it not be. I allowed people to make me feel bad about it without them knowing they're making me feel bad about it. I gave them power I shouldn't have.
yeah.
Um, and I think with like this movie and having this representation and seeing some characters, maybe this can help, like, you know, the next Mindy that's coming up that has a chronic pain issue who's struggling. Like, I mean, don't keep it hidden. It really is your strength. The more I talk about my pain and my chronic issues dealing with this movie, the more I'm on top of it, the more I own it, the
Yeah.
stronger I feel.
Oh,
And it's nice to be in control of that.
because
Yeah.
it's your truth. And as my mother always told me, your truth will stay with you and the lie will follow you.
Oh,
So, yeah. So,
moms are so wise.
yes. But I just find this movie, woo, you guys have to check it out. It's just, if you're dealing with any type of situation, whether it is physical pain, whether it is a disease, or if you can see the disease, if you can't, I mean, it's totally a story. Even just friendship,
Yeah.
if we can bring it back to that, you saw the power in that. And your character, she lost her sister, and you see the dynamic between her and her friend, and how that can also remind her of it's just a sisterly relationship.
Yeah.
How was
Yeah,
it
'cause
working
it's
with
not about the physical illness. It's also about the emotional baggage that comes with having a physical illness or
you? Hmm.
losing someone in your life. And both of the characters have lost someone in their life too.
Yeah.
So they have the
Uh,
physical baggage and the emotional baggage. And
yeah.
by God, if they're not kind of the same, you
Yeah.
work through one, you work through the other.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what my next question was going to be was, if there is someone out there that's going through what you're going through, and really is in a dark mind state, what can you say to them?
First of all, you're not alone. I know we hear that all the time. It's almost overused now, but you're not. And it's kind of hard to wrap your head around when you feel so alone. You just have to make one step. Just reach out to someone who
Mhm.
has the disease.
Yeah.
Just the most wonderful thing I have ever experienced is just sitting down in front of someone with CRPS and having a conversation about our pain. They understand it more than any other doctor does. It is the most satisfying conversation you can have, and it
Mhm.
makes you feel a little bit lighter. So with anything that you're dealing with, find a person who's also dealing with it and reach out. Don't be scared, because they want to talk to you just as bad as you want to talk to them.
Yeah. I
It's
think
the
that's
biggest step is always the hardest. But
mhm.
guys, don't give up hope. Oh, and I've been there. I've been in those
Yeah.
dark, deep despairs. Absolutely. So gosh, just reach out.
Yeah.
Just reach
Yeah.
out.
Absolutely. I think that's such amazing advice, especially even to those who are friends, such as like Jennifer Stone's character in this film. She watched her friend, your character, in private and saw, she felt the pain. She was afraid. She felt it, but had to be strong herself despite what she was going through as well. And I
Oh,
just thought that was pretty powerful and a powerful message in itself because it is real. Many of our friends see the pain and we may see them hurting for us. And it's
yeah.
it's a difficult situation to be in.
And I'm sure you know it. You look at your mom's face and you see that pain she has because she feels for you. You're like, I don't want you to feel that. That is a
Yeah.
hard thing. What
Yeah.
it's good observation, Stephen.
And you know what? You guys did a great job at capturing the anxiety in the film because I found myself shaking a little bit. Like I was drinking my tea, and I found there was a scene with you guys, you ladies were at a table and you were drinking and you were smoking, and I saw your hand shaking as well a little. It was so raw and so real,
Yeah,
but.
well, we wanted that anxiety to be in there because when you're living with a chronic illness, you never know when it's going to attack. You never
Yeah.
know when you're going to have a flare up. You can do all the right things and still have a flare up. You can do all the wrong things and sometimes not have a flare up. So that anxiety that lives within the movie is a representation of that. It's this dark passenger that's always riding with you, and you never know when it's going to talk, when it's going to get mad at you. So that's that anxiety exists for that reason right there.
For sure. And whoever selected the music for this film was right on point with every scene.
Thank you. Well, I'd love to talk about the music a little bit because so all of the music is from a band. They were originally called Superwater Sympathy, and now they're called Hydrogen Child, and they're from Shreveport, Louisiana. And I knew them from when I lived in Shreveport. And Rob Sinska and I gave him a call when we were we started writing the script because I said, I can't do a road trip movie without music. Music's way too important.
Yeah.
But as an independent filmmaker, I don't have all of the money to license songs, which is crazy expensive if you guys don't know. So we called up the band and we were like, hey, we're making a movie. Is there any way we could use some of your music? And they were like, we love you guys. You've been fans for a while. You can have our whole catalog. And, we
Wow.
jumped up and down and screamed. And,
Wow.
we went back and rewrote some parts of the script to match the songs that we knew we wanted to
Right.
use. Yeah, it almost feels
Explaining
like
everything. Everything was so detailed.
everything, right? It almost feels like the music was written for the film, but
Yeah.
it's all these things that existed inside of us that got to come out at this great
I
moment.
love that. It was totally a powerful film.
And the
How come?
soundtrack is available too, which is a
Oh, the
really,
soundtrack is available.
yes.
That's what I was gonna
It's
ask. Like, how
on,
can people log
yeah,
find these musicians to download?
yes. Well, the soundtrack to the movie is on iTunes and Amazon Music. And or please look up Hydrogen Child and listen to any of their music. Yeah, gosh, we're actually has some great dialogue from the movie intertwined with the or in between each of the songs. So the soundtrack, you can actually push play and kind of follow the whole journey of the movie with snippets of dialogue from the movie in between all the songs. So
Oh,
you
that's
can
so
you
cool.
can experience the movie through audio.
Yeah, I love that. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Now, how can people view the film?
Well, the best, most exciting news is we're going to be available on VOD on May 18th, so just around the corner. And so we'll be on iTunes, Amazon, and Vudu. And then we'll also have Blu-rays and DVDs for sale
Oh,
come
that's
May
so
18th.
great.
Yeah. So very
Congrats.
excited about that. I'm excited everyone gets to see it.
Yeah. And what is next for you?
What's next for me? Well, I can't wait to make another movie. COVID's given us all this weird downtime, right? So
Yeah.
I've got a couple of script ideas that are coming my way, and I hope to be filming by early next year.
Oh,
So
we are definitely
yes,
looking forward to it. Especially, I hope you continue to tell beautiful stories, real stories, raw stories, because you do such a great job at capturing that through
thank you,
writing
Stephen.
and on camera. So, congratulations to you, and
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming on to Sessions with Steven.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Hey, subscribe now.